Afternoon, everybody. It's good to get everybody together. Um, so we're going to start off with some announcements. The first one being we do have two co-chairs open. Um, the policy change and funding co-chair and sustainability co-chair are open. A lot of our chairs and co-chairs have been around for almost I want to say almost 2 years now, a year and a half. So it's coming up on, time to pass the baton on. So if anybody's interested in filling one of those positions, we'll be doing interviews, but just let us know. Please email Kayla and myself. Chair and co-chair responsibilities, the big three, helping guide and mentor current project leads within their committee, identify new projects and goals for their committee to pursue, and then also helping define and achieve the intermediate and long-term goals of the larger PSN. And then the second big announcement is we will be having a symposium for the PSN leadership, so the chairs, co-chairs, and project leads. We're going to be planning for those long-term goals for PSN. What does that look like for the next year and the next 3 to 5 years? Also working on talking about the topic of recruitment and coalition building. And then for you guys, anyone that's not on the leadership side, if anybody has any questions, suggestions, and concerns that you do want to bring to the PSN leadership and you want us to look into during that meeting, if you want to speak up now during the meeting, I can write it down, or you can also email me afterwards if something comes up, and that can be a topic that we'll bring to this meeting. It's an all-day meeting, so we do have time to, to look into different things. But does anybody have anything off the top of their mind? I'll open it up if anyone has anything. Okay. And then next, I wanted to open it up to the chairs and co-chairs if they have any announcements. And let's see, who do we have on? So I saw Steve. If you want to start, because I saw you first. Do you have any announcements that you'd like to share with the group about the E&O committee?
No, I like where we're heading. I'm very happy that we're going to have an in-person meeting. Um, I'm still getting over Allie not being able to come down here, but I get it. I mean, I get it. So looking forward because you'll be at now, Kayla, are you coming down for that? Okay, so you'll be down, so that'd be great.
Yep.
So no, looking forward to that. We got a couple of things. We're gonna do the tour, three tours actually, and then we have the event at Springs Preserve. So that'll be cool. So I'm looking forward to that. It's always fun when we can kind of get together. And other than that, no, just really appreciate everyone's support, and just really looking forward to just melting our brains in May.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, that haven't been in the Education Outreach Committee, PSN, we have a event tent. So we're going to be working with Republic Services. We'll have an NDEP tent, and then a PSN tent working with Las Vegas Livestock, the Combs brothers, and presenting information on reducing food waste at the Springs Preserve Earth Day event, not this weekend, but next weekend. So we're really excited to do that. So that'll be the first event where PSN is representing themselves, and we have a tent. So, and we have some materials to hand out and some swag. So it's really exciting. Let's see. I did not see Chris. What?
Kim was also on as well. Kim Rios.
Oh, Kim, do you have any announcements?
No, I think Steve covered it. Looking forward to seeing everyone in May.
I know Tina is going to be on a little later. And then I don't see Chris. So if Tina hops on later, we'll give her some time.
No, Chris is on. I'm just on by
Oh.
phone. So
Oh, hi, Chris.
no, hi. No real big updates. Just I know that our different working groups are doing a great job moving things forward.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, so we'll move on to the different projects, give everybody an update on what the different committees are doing, because sometimes, you're just working on your own project and you might not know what else is going on in PSN. So we'll start with the policy change and funding group. The three big projects are a compost reg review and providing comments on that, a compost roadmap, which is part of the overall organics roadmap for decision makers. And then a third one is a sustainability programs project where we're bringing in a bunch of different sustainability coordinators throughout the state and figuring out what's working well in their areas so we can, possibly spread it to other areas in the state. So for the first one, the compost reg review, I've been helping lead. So what we did is we started with the U.S. Composting Council's model reg rule and started digging into that with the partners in that project team, doing comments, what makes sense for Nevada, what doesn't. We also opened, I got the health districts together to discuss what they liked and didn't like about it. And also I brought in the composters throughout Nevada to talk on that model rule. And then another thing that we're also looking at is Colorado's regs. They're very similar to the Composting Council's regs, but with a slightly different take. So we're looking at what we could possibly incorporate into our regs for that one. The next project is that compost roadmap. And let's see, is Cody on?
Unless he's on a phone, I haven't seen his name.
So for that, for those of you who don't know, we have a template so that when PSN produces documents, we can make it look really professional and standardized. And so this is the first one we've done in this template, and it's called Implementing Large-Scale Composting Programs in Nevada, a Guide for Decision Makers. And this is actually going to be a series that will make up a roadmap to increasing organic material diversion in Nevada. So the next one we'll be working on is diverting food scraps for livestock, making a document for that. We could have another one for biogas. So each one is specific to a different strategy within the food waste hierarchy. And I will be sending out a link to this in an email that summarizes everything, and we're opening it up to the group for comments. But yeah, so like each document that we're going to produce will cover one of these diversion strategies. So I know Cody's group worked really hard on this, and we'd appreciate any comments you guys have. And I'll also put it in the chat too, but I will email this out.
That looks great.
Yeah, I'll
absolutely, just very impressive. Wow. Well done.
And I know Cody and his group worked really hard on it, so really excited. Let's see. Philip, I know you also worked really hard on this too. Did you want to say anything about it as well?
No, I really want to emphasize how important it is we get the comments from everybody. I think part of it is it's hopefully establishing a model for these documents and what's useful for policymakers. And so really look at it as an eye towards, yes, this is information for composting, but how might it relate to other policies and other areas to try to bring additional sustainability topics forward. So looking forward to your comments and so we can get that finalized into the decision makers. So thank you.
Well done. Well done.
Okay. So the next one is the Sustainability Programs Group. Is Linda on?
I don't
see Linda. I actually just shot her an email because I didn't see her on the, I'm wondering if we missed her and getting her an invite. I hope not, but I can certainly sit in and fill in for her real quick and give you guys an update. So we have Policy Project 7, which was identifying sustainability programs in the state and how to recreate that success across the state. And as many of you know, we had lots of presentations starting from last summer, kind of up through the holidays, of different sustainability managers and what they were working on. And now we're moving forward with kind of identifying county contacts for every county in Nevada, and then setting up a survey that we want to send out to those counties and have a county manager kind of take a survey and give us a brief overview of what sustainability topics are they working on, if any, and if they're not, what would they like to see? What are their residents asking for? You know, are there any hurdles or obstacles that we could possibly help them with? And then hopefully we will gather that information, create a bit of maybe a case study or some kind of guide that will go on to the PSN letterhead. And then that will help PSN determine maybe some future projects that counties need, especially in those rural areas.
Thanks, Allie. Okay.
Hey, Bree.
Yeah.
Before you move over to sustainability, I want to give a little update on a couple potential and even finalized funding opportunities for this group.
Yes, please.
So even I think it'll be news for you as well, Bree. So we just had our state budgets closed earlier this week, and we got our funding that we had put in for a waste characterization study for the entire state. So that was a really, really exciting opportunity that, yes, we'll be able to move forward with really quickly. But that's just it'd be such a phenomenal opportunity for this group to really move forward with, and something that's going to be, yes, is really, I think, a game changer for the state data wise. So wanted to give that little snippet out. Lot more to come on that. And then still waiting to see the Swiffer funding. Have not seen that that allocation as well. Once we receive any news, we'll be passing it along. The last one, which I'm going to let Brian touch on later, was just some EPA Phase 1 funding, but I'll let him cover that as well. So exciting news moving forward. Very happy that that passed our state budget. Yeah.
That is good news. Okay. For the sustainability group, Lakshmi was leading the waste reduction at events. We also have Brian leading the PSN climate team, and then Aster was leading the circular economy team. Lakshmi, are you on? I don't see her. To give a quick update with that group, they are working with the a farmer's market in Reno, the Reno area, and working with the vendors to reduce single-use waste items at that event, as doing a pilot project. And I think there's talk of even going to a bigger scale event as well. And they also want to produce a document for best management practices with reducing single-use items at events, and also looking at what are the barriers to doing that for events. Next is the PSN climate team. Brian, would you like to give us a quick update, please?
Yeah, so I took over the group in November. We've got a good solid team now representing municipalities and counties across the state, as well as several nonprofits. We're trying to collaborate and build a relationship with the new administration, in that we managed to have a good positive meeting with Chief of Staff Kiefer, as well as with the new Office of Energy Director, Dwayne McClinton. Recently, we reached out to Dwayne again to see if we could serve a role with the home energy rebate program, which we don't know for sure they're going to administer or not. He's got his hands full because some people have left, and so we'll see where that's going to go. We're also working to potentially help with NDEP's possible climate planning under the EPA Climate Pollution Grant Program. We were involved in some discussions as they worked out whether NDEP or Office of Energy would be implementing those funds. It's the Phase 1 money is I believe, a $3 million grant, which would be focused on climate planning. So there'd be an opportunity to really update and expand the climate plan, and we hope to be able to play a role in that. And
Brian.
that application was met. Oh, were you referring to me as Brian to talk about that, or a different Brian, Kayla?
No,
Sorry.
yes, no, you absolutely.
Okay.
But I wanted to, touch on that really quick for you to give you an update. So I'll be meeting with Taylor and her team tomorrow afternoon to see how to work through your PSN group and help develop that work plan. So just want to
great.
let you know, how that part is moving forward. Yeah.
Great. That's great news. Let's see. We're also expanding our group outreach to the Nevada Clean Energy Fund and NV Energy. And we had a message out to NV Energy, and I received a tentative reply back. I think we're going to be able to get together with them soon. So they're busy with the legislature. But finally, if anybody would like to join our group, we're definitely looking to expand. We're trying to create a statewide voice focused on climate. So I'll put my email in the chat after. I don't know if Peter Gower is on, but I wanted to introduce him. He's the strategy director for green energy infrastructure and land use in Nevada for the Nature Conservancy. And he'll be attending the May symposium because I will be out of town. So hopefully you'll get a chance to meet him if you don't already know him. And that was it.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, great stuff coming out of that. I know Esther was not able to make it today. So for the circular economy, what we've been doing in that group is different businesses, NGOs, and even our bureau has contributed to a document where we look at how circular economy plays a role either in our business structure or for like NDEP, we did the Sustainable Materials Management Plan. So Esther is currently gathering all of this information from the different partners in that group, and we will also be publishing a document about the circular economy. And the goal is that for this group, there's going to be multiple phases as well. And this first phase is kind of an inventory of what's going on currently based on the stakeholders that are involved. And then moving on to education and outreach. The newest project to this group is we're working on a communications and outreach calendar, and that involves finding all the different events that PSN can get involved in, whether that's public education and outreach to residents, and also how do we get into professional events and get PSN's name out there to other experts for recruiting, and just also, hey, we're a resource that's out here. Kim or Steve, do you guys have anything to add to that new project idea?
Kim? No. I know what I know and I know what I don't know. So, I mean, I can tell you the why and the what, like what you talked about, is so we can all have access to that. So different events and things like that, so we can put it on there. Just because it's on there doesn't mean that it's anything we're going to do, but it's just so we're aware of it. So if it's something that somebody can do down here or up there, or have some kind of involvement, if nothing else, just having an awareness of it. So depending on when it's planned out for, maybe not this year, but maybe next year, or if it's a quarterly thing. So that's the why and the what for it. And I'll ask Kim to please explain the how and the details of that, please.
Sure. So like Bree said, the communication calendar is really going to help us stay organized as we try to communicate important topics throughout the year. And as part of that, we're also going to be developing a platform to funnel through any news or educational topics coming from PSN and some of the other work that you all are doing, especially when it comes time to educating people on things like composting or circular economy or anything like that, so that we can help kind of launch those topics as well in an organized and streamlined fashion.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, you explained that way better than I could.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. No, yeah.
Okay. The second thing is, as most of you probably are aware, we applied for the EPA Recycling Education Outreach Grant back in February. Still haven't heard anything about that. Originally, we were supposed to know something in April, but they extended the deadline for the grant. So I'm assuming that's going to push other dates out. But as soon as we know something, we'll get that out. And for that, if you guys are new to PSN, what we applied for was we applied for the full 2 million, so we could do a statewide campaign to help bring awareness to recycling properly and reducing contamination in the recycling stream. And then I already hit on this at the beginning, that PSN will be represented at the Springs Preserve Earth Day in Las Vegas on April 22nd. So if you're in Las Vegas and want to stop by, we will be there. With that, I think, did I see Tina hop on? Yes.
Did, but I am driving. You guys are doing a wonderful job.
Okay. Well, we want you to stay safe. So,
Bree, I have one more comment.
Oh yeah, go for it, Kayla.
So we're going to be looking also applying for the pollution prevention grant cycle. So we have several people who are very interested in a pretty much a reusable plates, cutlery, serveware type program at either a retirement center, a school cafeteria, some of the local soup kitchens. So if you guys have any interest in participating in that grant application, please reach out and let me know.
Thanks, Kayla. Let's see. I'm gonna look at the chat real quick. Laura asks how I want the comments for the document on the composting. You can email them to me. If you want to type them up in a Word document or an email, just let me know the page number you're referencing. You can just email them to me. That works.
Yes, Bree, I do have one more closing thought as well.
Yeah.
So in addition to the waste characterization funding, we also got all of our recycling grant funding reinstated. So coming out in the next month or so, we're going to be putting out some guidance on recycling grant opportunities put out through NDEP. So really going to be focusing these grant opportunities for the 15 counties that end up overseas, really looking at our rural counties and leaving it fairly open, just saying, how can you divert material away from their landfills? So again, another great opportunity coming up in the near future. You can start thinking about that and seeing how many of our different rural counties can really use some help.
Okay. Does anybody, I'll open it up for any comments or questions. Yeah, does anyone have any closing thoughts, questions, comments? Tina?
I had one quick one about the calendar. Does it allow for a little bit of information so that, like, if we need volunteers or something, there's somebody to contact and such? Like, if there's an event going on and they need somebody to man the booths or whatever, is there information about what the event is and who we would contact to help out?
That's what we're currently working on right now, is gathering all the different events that we know of that would make sense for PSN to get involved with. And then I think the next step from there is, okay, what can we reasonably do? And then we can send out, hey, we're gonna be at these events, who would like to help volunteer? So we're kind of in this initial phase of brainstorming and figuring out what events are out there. And I will also, in the email that summarizes the notes from this meeting, I will include a link to that calendar so people can just put information in there to help us brainstorm. Yeah. And I will also include a link to the compost document as well. Did that answer your question, Tina?
Perfect, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Hi, it's Linda Miller here. Sorry, I tuned in a little late. And thank you, Ali, for reporting on our project, number 7. And since Tina is on the line, I don't know if Susan is, I'd love to just on the side, just sync up to let you know where we're at with a survey that we're getting ready to send out to all counties in the state.
That would be great. Susan might be difficult to get because she's mid-session and going 100 miles an hour. But if you want to sync up, we want to sync up calendars, we can do that and then see if she can join us.
I'll go ahead and follow up with you. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Allie?
I did not mean to click that. I just thought that somebody else had their hand up. I'm so sorry.
No problem. Okay, well, not seeing any other hands raised. And nothing else more in the comments. That's all I had today. I appreciate everybody getting together. I will have a recording of this in case you guys hopped on a little late, so you'll be able to watch that. And I'll also get the notes out, just depending on how long it takes for YouTube to actually, process the video. That's how long it'll take me to get the notes out. So if you guys had, like I said, if you have any comments about what PSN leadership should look into before the May 24th event, please email them to me and Kayla. And if you're interested in filling one of those co-chair spots, also please let us know. And if you want more information on it too, I can get you more information. But with that, I'll conclude the meeting and thank you everybody for attending.
Thanks, Bree. Awesome as usual.
Thanks, Bree.